Black men have been angry and bitter at black women for so long, all right? And I have a whole historical trope about this. Okay, so I told y'all I was gonna come on here and talk about black men's dislike, discontent, disdain for black women and why they are flat out mad at us. Now, you're probably like, well, what makes you qualified to talk about this? Well, I have studied black people and the black diaspora with all of my college dollars, and I also have a master's degree from one of the top radio, television, and film schools in this country that I went to on scholarship. Let's move on, babes. Now, the short answer to this is that black men became economically irrelevant to black women, which eventually led to the rebellion of the leadership of the black man.
And here's another bird brain sister who says that, hey, well, because I done studied, African-American studies, and I done got my degree in this, that, and the third, I'm qualified to speak on this. I know everything about this. Now, once again, for me, I don't, degree or not, I think anybody can have an opinion as long as it's not outlandish, as long as it makes some sense. You can have an opinion, whether you get a degree in whatever field that you're talking about or not. It's all about being reasonable. But here we have a woman who is saying that over the years, for a long time, men were bitter towards black women. How is that the case? Let's just go ahead and hear the rest of the video out.
Black men have been angry and bitter at black women for so long, all right? And I have a whole historical trope about this. Okay, so I told y'all I was gonna come on here and talk about black men's dislike, discontent, disdain for black women and why they are flat out mad at us. Now, you're probably like, well, what makes you qualified to talk about this? Well, I have studied black people and the black diaspora with all of my college dollars, and I also have a master's degree from one of the top radio, television, and film schools in this country that I went to on scholarship. Let's move on, babes. Now, the short answer to this is that black men became economically irrelevant to black women, which eventually led to the rebellion of the leadership of the black man. Now for the longer answer. So statistics tell us that black women have some of the lowest rates of marriage. However, it was not always that way. Even if you go back into slavery times, black people were sneaking off to get married. And even up into the early 1900s, black women had higher rates of marriage over their clear counterparts before the social engineering of the welfare state. And you're probably like, well, what is the social engineering of the welfare state? Well, prior to the social engineering of the welfare state, black people had 78% dual household, mother and father in the house, and these two people were married. 78%. Under the social engineering of the welfare state, i.e. aid, welfare, subsidized programs for housing and things of that nature, the government required that a male could not be living in the house in order for that family to receive aid or public assistance. And this just wasn't written in fine print. There were actual pop-up audits, like a Section 8 inspection that we have currently to this day, that the government inspectors would come out and look for traces of a male in the house. And if they found any shoes, any shirts or clothes or anything like that, you were cut off from that public assistance. If you need proof of this, watch the movie Clock. This is right simultaneously in alignment with Nixon's war on drugs, which took the U.S. prison system from 300,000 people incarcerated to 2.3 million people incarcerated, and 2/3 of those people were people of color. So there you have black men being removed from the home. Then you have the war on drug, which is disproportionately incarcerating black males in particular. And now what do black women have to do? Make it work and figure it out. Then that births a generation of struggling mothers teaching their daughters to go to school, get a degree, and don't depend on a man for nothing. Like and follow for part 2, where we will talk about the black male athlete, the birth of the hip hop generation, the over-sexualization of black women, and how we went from this to that.
Now, she says that, your men have became financially irrelevant, right? Financially and economically irrelevant towards your women. So this is what helped women rebel against black male leadership, which once again, that was your downfall of the black family, of the black nuclear family, where black women were rebelling against men. Oh, I make more than you. Oh, I really don't need you to survive. And that's what you're seeing today. That's what you're seeing today. And that's what you were seeing since the 1960s. Women wanting to go out here and do the exact same thing that men are doing, and think that they can do everything that men can do, thinking that they're equal. So of course, this is where you get your women saying, hey, I'm independent, I'm a boss babe, I don't need you, I can do it all by myself. Now, financially, in the aspect part of it, I can agree with that. I can agree with that. Women have the ability to be able to make a bunch of money today. But the sad thing about it is a lot of your women, a lot of your sisters are in poverty. A lot of your sisters are single mothers, and you already know times is already tough, and you already know they're struggling. But hey, guess what? This idea, this fact that, hey, well, women can sit here and survive without men, You're starting to see it today. You're starting to see so many women try to survive without men, but you see they can't. And they're rebelling against the very men that they expect protection from. They're rebelling against the same men they expect to be doing all of this stuff for them. Women wanted to get into the workforce and destroy the family. And guess what? Once they got into the workforce, what do you see? As she said, women starting to rebel against men. This is just in general. And this is why you see divorce rates being high, marriage rates being low, many of your sisters becoming single mothers, many women becoming single mothers, all because women are saying, hey, well, we are equal to you now, so we don't need to really listen to you guys. We really don't even need to be up under your wing. Then she wants to bring up that, marriage rates wasn't always low for black women. And a lot of people used to sneak off and they used to get married. And a lot of people did this and a lot of people did that. And guess what? A lot of those women understood the role. A lot of those women understood, even then they could still work. They understood that, hey man, listen, the man is the head of the household. We are going to follow up under him. No matter how much I make, we're still going to follow up under him. They lived up under the man's means. So we get sisters who understood the role, marriage rates were high. Then we get sisters who don't understand their roles, and now marriage rates are hella low. And the only thing you're going to say is we don't see any issues with that. That's the sad thing about it. And the only response a lot of your women give is, well, now that we don't sit over here and take abuse anymore, we're not going to stand for some of this certain stuff. We can make our own money, this, that, and the third. All you're saying is, men, F you, we don't need you. We got it on our own now. When the sad thing about it is, your women do not have it on their own. Because if they plunge this bad boy into a war, guess what those women are going to be doing? They're going to go right back to the roles. No matter how much the man is making, they're going to go right back to the role. No matter how much she is making, they're going to go right back to the role, to their natural role. Men have allowed society to be so soft and so easy for women that women can sit here and mess it up for everybody. As I stated before, first wave feminism, second wave feminism, third wave feminism, all these waves of feminism has changed over the years. While the man has always been the same, his role has always stayed the same. And when you look at the marriage rates from when women wanted to be feminists and black women started to adopt that trait, you see the marriage rates going low, but the only response is, well, because we got it from up under you guys, so we don't want to have to deal with that stuff anymore. This is the logic of women. And once again, for a lot of your sisters, the degrees does not mean anything. The degrees does not mean anything. Shout out to Anton Daniels, because that's what he always says. A lot of these women get their degrees in African American studies or whatnot, and then think they know everything in the world when they don't know jack squiddly squat. Guys, let me ask you, think about the early 2000s. Think about 1990s, 1980s, 1970s. Mind you, this chick is a quote unquote dating coach, but she's making videos like this.
Okay, so this is a guide for men if you're dealing with a woman who has an anxious attachment style. Please don't say that I never done nothing for you. I'm about to help you out, bro. Okay, so boom. If you start off with good morning, beautiful, and then you go to good morning, how are you? I'm anxious. Okay, so now I'm like, am I your brother? Am I your coworker? Where is my beautiful? If you go to good morning and then GM, basically you hate me and our relationship is over. It is so important that you stay consistent. Another example for you. So, hey, how's your day going? What did you have for lunch? And then 3 hours pass and you haven't texted me back. And then you finally after 3 hours say, sorry, long day. I haven't even had food yet. Let me tell you what I'm thinking as an anxious person. I'm like, okay, are you actually living a double life and you're really married and your wife is pregnant with your second child and you're actually not even at work and you're at home rubbing her pregnant belly? I'm anxious. This is what I'm thinking. So it's very important that you text me back in a timely manner. Okay, babe? Okay, so if you text me, good morning, beautiful, I'm headed into work, have a great day. And then I say, good morning, babe, just got to the gym, have a great day. Also, can't wait to see you later. And all you do is like the message. Okay, clearly you're not excited to see me later, because why would you say, I can't wait to see you later? Either, baby, my beautiful queen, princess, I love you so much with all my heart. What the hell? Hey, I think we should take a couple of days and give this some space. Space. That means to me that the world is over. Jesus is coming back for his people. And basically you want me to come over there. This is your reminder never to fight over a man. These are wild kangaroos, and this male kangaroo is looking for a female kangaroo to mate with. So he then came across this young kangaroo, Keisha, and he's like, okay, Keisha looking real thick. So he figures out like, boom, Keisha's the kangaroo that I'm choosing that I want to be with. He is claiming her. He's walking side by side with Keisha to show all the other kangaroo
kangaroos in the hood that this is my girl and y'all see me, okay? Y'all see me and this is my girl. So then he sees another kangaroo snipping up on Keisha. He like, on my granny, I know you're not talking to my girl. So he stands up because he's like, let me see if I'm seeing what I'm seeing. So bet he's over there talking to my girl, say less. So boom, he's on the way to go talk to him as a man because this ain't even your hood, my boy. What you doing over here? And you know that that's my girl. So the other kangaroo like, square up then, fool, because I want to talk to Keisha. Oh, you want to talk to Keisha? I just told you that that's my girl. So he like, that ain't what she was saying last night. Oh, word, but say less. Boom, they're going at it. He's like, stop pulling my hair. Get your hands on my face. They going at it. And there you have it. The males fighting for the female. I don't know how we got here. I don't know why you're fighting his baby mama over Pookie and Ray Ray that's not even claiming you. Never in the history of the animal kingdom have I seen the female fighting for the male. A wild kangaroo knows better.
Hey, y'all men, tell me, does her qualifications matter? Does her qualifications matter? It does not, because this is the type of advice that she's giving to other women. Clearly a woman who dislikes men. Clearly a woman who wants to have an imp. Now, like I said, think about the early 2000s, your 90s, and your 80s. You tell me, would you want her as your dating coach? You have some sex life crisis or whatnot. Would you want her to be your dating coach and you see these videos of her? People are going to be like, yo, what in the world is this? Like, no. But women have made it such a norm that we can have doctors, quote unquote, that we can have therapists just as bad as the people that they're trying to talk to you about. This sister is no different than the other sisters that we see. You're a dating coach. You're a dating coach, by the way. 9 times out of 10, you are going to be biased towards women. All your bias is going to go towards women. You're going to sit here and try to make sure that if a man comes to you asking for some advice, you're going to try to make sure that that man is as soft as possible. And he adheres to everything that this woman is saying. That's ridiculous. But the fact that we got Matt Walsh going back and forth with a certified medical professional, and she hangs around kids, but she can't even answer simple questions. She can't see how bad her logic is. But understand, people, she has a degree. She's a doctor.
My name is Michelle Forcier, and I have a medical degree from University of Connecticut, residency, University of Utah Pediatrics, and I've worked for a number of different Planned Parenthoods. Telling that family, based on that little penis, that your child is absolutely 100% male identified, no matter what else occurs in their life, that's not correct.
So what's happening in that exchange is, first of all, she says, talking about a child who sits down with her, is she wants to know about their gender journey and where would you like to be in the future? So she's talking about a child's like 5-year gender plan. But the point I was trying to get across to her is that children don't have a grasp on reality. I mean, even if in theory people could choose their own gender, which they can't, but if they could, it wouldn't make sense to say that a child could choose it.
One of the drugs used is Lupron, right? Which has actually been used to chemically castrate sex offenders.
You know what? I'm not sure that we should continue with this interview because it seems like it's going in a particular direction.
Well, you're a medical professional.
I am a medical professional.
So you don't want to talk about the drugs that you give to kids, or?
Again, I'm a physician and I use medication. You're choosing exploitive words. Drugs I give to kids.
I'm choosing a
chemical
word that was in a dictionary.
That's not a correct term for puberty blocking.
I could look it up on my phone, but I'm pretty sure if I looked it up,
you can look it up on your phone.
It says medical definition: the administration of a drug to bring about a marked reduction in the body's production of androgens and especially testosterone.
And I'm saying, as a pediatrician who takes care of hundreds of these kids, when you use that terminology, you are being malignant and harmful.
So you mean to tell me a doctor is getting upset with a man simply putting 2 and 2 together, and your only response is to deflect, your only response is to want to exit the meeting? But once again, this is a doctor. This is somebody who works with kids. Then, of course, we got our good old sister, Miss Bryant. We got Dr. Bryant, another one who is not a doctor, by the way. From my understanding, she is not a doctor, but she's out here giving advice like she is one. She's over here trying to make it seem weird, because once again, all she is trying to do is just go viral with a lot of her stuff. But Dr. Bryant is no different than this sister who is up here trying to say that, hey, well, being that your men were trying to get kicked out of the house for government assistance, so women could receive government assistance, and they were being locked up during that drug pandemic, men are just automatically resentful towards women. Maybe we are resentful because your women are trying to push men out of the house. Now, I understand where she's coming from, where she's saying that, hey, well, the government try to push our men up out of the house. Most definitely. And guess who was still right there pushing the man up out of the house? Your women. But Dr. Bryant want to say that, hey, well, you need to be like this. You shouldn't be low functional. You shouldn't be low vibrational, this, that, and the third, trying to go viral by checking Cam and Nick Cannon. But the whole time she can't even give you a real answer as to why she is still not married, as to why she's been engaged so many times. But she can give advice to other women. That doesn't make any sense.
There's been 4 times that you almost went down the altar.
I almost went down.
Yeah. Why hasn't it worked? And whose fault is it? Because you've been talking about accountability. You've been talking about high functioning. And you literally told me in my situation, because of the type of high functioning and low functioning people I'm choosing.
Yep.
Why hasn't it worked for you?
For the first few, I was low functioning. And I was still in my healing journey. And so I law of attracted low functioning.
That happened all 4 or just the first?
The first, I would say like the first 2 or 3.
2.
Definitely
Okay.
low functioning of myself.
How were you low functioning that found things that where you thought this was your match, this was your person, and then it still didn't go through because you were low functioning?
I take accountability. It was my fault because I knew all of them were not my person. And so this is why I say it's not their fault, because these men wasn't no infidelity. They weren't beating on me. I attract good men, but I wasn't in the space of being ready to marry them. But I needed them to be good for me, Nick, because I needed.
And then you look at her Instagram and look at how she carries herself. Once again, I just asked, early 2000s, 1990s, 1980s. If you see these women, if you see this sister, Dr. Bryant, who's a quote unquote doctor, posting this stuff on her page, and you got a dating coach like this sister right here posting certain stuff on her page, do you take her seriously? That's my question. Do you see her as a serious doctor? Do you see her as a serious dating coach?
I want to get on here and tell y'all, listen, for y'all who work your butt off, for y'all who don't work but you're a mama bear, for y'all who are at home wives, you want to make sure you take care of yourself. Self-care is super important. For those who have followed me for a long, long time, y'all know I used to get on a private jet for the day, fly up north, fly to Vegas, fly somewhere, get lunch, go shopping, get my nails and toes done, and just fly back privates at night. It's not about what I'm spending, because there's no price on your peace or your happiness. It was about the self-care and the mental health that it provided for me, right? And again, there's no price on your happiness. I deserve it. And so, yeah, just wanted to say hello and shut the entire place down. So freaking happy. Having some good dinner, some good drinks, y'all.
Perception is key. So, I mean, once again, y'all guys have always got to look at the Instagram and look at the TikTok because it explains everything. But going back to the lady, what she was talking about earlier, well, you know what, your guys, man, they just resent women. They don't. If anything, once again, they would resent a woman who is trying to break up her own home. We can say the government is trying to, but once again, who is allowing it? A lot of your sisters are allowing it. A lot of your sisters are just breaking it off. This is what you're seeing today. Women saying they can raise a child by themselves. Women saying they don't need a man. But yet here we are constantly complaining that men aren't the men that they used to be. Well, once again, y'all didn't y'all women say y'all were trying to get away from those type of men? Every time you say, well, after 1960s, your divorce rate started to creep up there. And the only response these women can make is, well, we used to get abused. Well, we did this, we had to endure this, we had to endure that. But then fast forward, looking at today, they understood the type of men that we had back in the day, and guess what they want? They want those exact same men. Oh, we want men who were chivalrous. We want men who knew how to lead, this, that, and the third. Y'all men today don't know how to lead. The same men that are being raised by your single mothers. So, I mean, look, guys, do me a huge favor. Let me a like, leave me a comment, subscribe to the channel. Let me know down below what y'all think.